Baltimore Ravens versus Buffalo Bills is the most exciting divisional matchup of the weekend. The talking heads picked the Ravens because they're still stuck in week 4 and stuck on stats. But I'm here to tell you the 5 reasons that the underdog Bills are gonna pull off the upset and advance to the AFC Championship. Don't miss out on the #1 reason, because that's why the Bills will be celebrating a victory Sunday night. Reason number 5 the Bills will win is home field advantage. Apparently Vegas doesn't think this is an advantage, given that they're now favoring the Ravens by 1.5. However, they're dead wrong. The reality is, Highmark Stadium is going to be absolutely electric in the divisional. Bills Mafia is the most passionate fan base in the NFL, obviously, and they're going to create an atmosphere that's going to send Lamar right back to 2021 when he only scored 3 against us. The Ravens are a tough team to beat on the road, but in Buffalo, in the playoffs, it's a completely different animal. You're in Bills country now. FYI, the Bills are undefeated at home this season, 9-0. And as a reminder to the obnoxious Ravens fans, not the nice ones, one of those dubs was against the Chiefs, whom the Ravens failed to beat. Home field advantage could be the difference maker in a very close game as the Ravens get clapped off stage. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that that's going to be colder than outside with an expected low of 8 degrees and a wind chill that makes it feel like 0. The Bills thrive in this weather, whereas the Ravens were already caught practicing indoors because their fields were frozen over and they couldn't practice on them. More like they wouldn't practice on them. Ravens are going to freeze their asses off on Sunday. Reason number 4 the Bills will win. Lamar's poor playoff track record. While he's undoubtedly a phenomenal talent as one of 2 frontrunners for the 2024 MVP, Jackson is also when it matters most. Apparently, he gets too antsy and his hormones freak out in the big games. Not a good quality in an elite quarterback. And since I know Ravens fans are all about stats, here are some mediocre Lamar Jackson stats for you. His playoff record currently stands at 3-4, including a, what's that? 17-3 loss to the Bills in the last divisional, and a 17-10 loss to the Chiefs in last season's AFC Championship. Notice how Lamar failed to score more than 10 in both matchups. Now, I know he's got Henry now, so he's obviously gonna score more than 10. However, he most likely won't have Pro Bowler Zay Flowers, aka #1 wide receiver on the Ravens, to fall back on, so that will definitely have a factor on the Ravens' passing game. He's also prone to turnovers and inconsistencies in the key moments. In the playoffs, Lamar currently has an 8-6 touchdown to interception ratio, a whopping 27 sacks, and 6 fumbles, including 3 lost. Wow. Speaking of turnovers,
25, 2nd and 10, to the end zone again, and it is intercepted.
oh, don't worry, I'll get to Taron Johnson's pick 6 later. The pressure of the playoffs is intense, especially in Bills country, so I'm certain that Lamar is going to choke again, like he always does. Reason number 3 the Bills will win. James Cook can keep the pace with Derrick Henry touchdown for touchdown, and he's already proven it against a top rushing defense. Everyone talks about Henry and his incredible rushing ability, but nobody's talking about the fact that Cook has tied Henry for rushing touchdowns, 16, as well as rushing for over 1,000 yards during the season. And here's the thing, he's not just putting up these numbers against weak defenses. In the wild card, he absolutely demolished the Broncos, who boasted the 3rd best rushing defense in the league. Cook ran for 120 yards and a touchdown on 23 carries, averaging an impressive 5.2 yards per attempt. To illustrate my point, check out this 16-yard rush where Cook completely outmaneuvered the Broncos defense by cutting to the outside.
And he's barely turned it over this year. Here's the handoff to Cook. He's got the outside.
Also impressive was his 5-yard touchdown rush, where he showed yet again why he is one of the best red zone rushers and rushers in general. And even if Cook gets stopped short, he still gains more distance after initial contact, as evident through
1st down, it's Cook. Traffic, but seeing openings and being shoved, still on his feet.
Notice how in all of these examples, Cook was still gaining ground after initial contact. He's like a smaller and faster version of Henry, who still gets the job done and makes the offense 3D. And he showed that he will produce against even the toughest defenses. When, not if, he replicates that performance against the Ravens. It will keep the score close and put pressure on the Ravens' D. Cook's performance against the Broncos was a statement, and he is ready to go off on the Ravens. Reason number 2 the Bills will win. Josh Allen. Josh Allen is obviously playing at an MVP level, and he just shredded a former top 5 defense. I said former because him and Cook destroyed the Broncos D so much that it bumped them back down to 7th in the rankings. Allen has been crushing it all season, especially now when it matters. He's making incredible throws, extending plays with his legs, and leading this offense with dominance and confidence. In the wild card last week, Allen threw for 272 yards and 2 touchdowns, including including this nasty touchdown to Ty Johnson that's still getting a lot of press. I still don't know how Johnson managed to catch that, but holy crap, that was amazing. See, this is what the Ravens fans don't want to admit, is that Josh is scary good through the air, just as he is on the ground. Now, I want to highlight Josh Allen's drive that led to Ty Johnson's touchdown. MVP Allen was surgical on that drive, completing first down after first down and moving down the field at will. And Bills Mafia has gotta love this throw when Allen completed to Samuel, who ran it in for a touchdown after he juked out the entire Broncos D. Against the Donkeys, Allen completed 77% of his passes for a 135.4 passer rating and only got sacked twice against the highest ranked sack defense that was averaging 4 sacks per game. Almost 4 sacks per game. And give the Bills O-line credit because they are the best Bills security I've ever seen. Allen also added 46 rushing yards and can take off at any given moment to give the Bills a much needed first down, touchdown, or just extra rushing yards. Like this rush here, where on 3rd and 3, he bolted past defenders and set up Cook's rushing touchdown on the next play. Allen is a dual threat nightmare for opposing defenses and will not be the same Allen that he was in week 4. Playoffs Allen will shred the Ravens defense and make them look like the Bills are playing against the Jets. While I'm talking about Allen, I just want to remind everybody that Amari Cooper wasn't on the Bills yet in week 4, and he is going to absolutely explode this game, despite being quiet so far this season. When you've got Cooper, Cook, Johnson, Shakir, Coleman, Samuel, Hollins, Kincaid, Knox, and Josh Allen, how do you possibly defend against that? I pity Ravens defensive coordinator Zach Orr because the Bills offense might get him fired. And the number one reason the Bills will upset the Ravens is the defense will contain Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Now wait a minute, Andy Chang. Shouldn't Josh Allen be the number one reason? Well, I originally thought that as well, but no amount of touchdowns will be able to save the Bills if the defense can't contain Henry and Jackson. Thankfully, the Bills defense has vastly improved since week 4, week 15, especially with 3 key players who didn't play against the Ravens last time. The return of Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, and Taron Johnson is going to give Lamar Jackson a major headache and the heebie-jeebies. Speaking of Johnson, remember that 101-yard pick 6 that he got against Jackson in their last matchup? I'm sure Jackson remembers. That pick 6 gave me goosebumps, and I can even feel them right now as I'm reliving this moment. Johnson's pick 6 effectively put the game out of reach and simultaneously crushed Jackson's will. Wow, that's awesome. If it happened once, it'll definitely happen again. I got a feeling. This is the game Johnson is going to light it up again and give Jackson some major flashbacks. Milano also didn't play in week 4, and as you can see in last week's matchup against the Broncos, he absolutely demolished Bo Nix's ass on a crucial 3rd down to force a punt. He's going to be doing a whole hell of a lot of that to Jackson as well. Now, while Jackson is far better than Nix, he seems to get sacked a lot in the playoffs, as evident last season with 3 sacks against the Texans and 4 against the Chiefs. I got another feeling that Milano is going to be setting record numbers against Jackson and making his life hell. As if the pass rush isn't enough, Jackson will have to worry about the secondary too. Notice in this play that Rapp came out of nowhere and almost intercepted Nix. And haters can make fun of Hamlin all they want, but homie nearly had 2 Bo picks. Expect Hamlin to also go off alongside Bernard, Rapp, and Johnson. How many Lamar interceptions? Yes. And even if our guys don't get the interception, they're so good at disrupting the pass that they're gonna force 3 and out anyways to put the ball back in Josh Allen's hands. I'm 1000% certain that a defense led by Milano, Rousseau, and Bernard is going to get the sacks on Jackson and force some fumbles as well as some interceptions. With a fully healthy and powerful defense hell-bent on revenge, the Bills will be highly equipped to slow down Henry and Jackson to win 31-27. Go Bills!